moment of being released, the book being released, and there are very few readers who actually take interest. It's a very academic in nature. But having document that, you never know after how many years somebody will get the insight from that. Imagine if you had not written Arthashastra, you wouldn't be having this particular meeting. Many times your greatness, the efforts of your research and documentation is known after many generations. One of my teachers, Dr. Subhash Sharma, is here and he said something very nicely every time we met. You know, Chanakya Niti is one of the best selling books in India. You go to any state of India, railway bookstall, bus stand, airport, you will find Chanakya Niti. It's never statistically given, it's one of the best sellers. So today our generation is also thinking about Chanakya. In fact, my guru Dr. Gangadhar Nayak used to tell me that every Indian has got a Chanakya in his genes. We think, you know, we all talk about corruption, but corruption sometimes is good. Really? Now I'm not talking about the political corruption or the finance corruption. What is corruption actually? It's actually thinking how to get things done, isn't it? So, you know, some people say, you know, it's not right ethically to get into corruption, but what is corruption? If you look at it from another standpoint, we have Samadana Danda Veda. If it doesn't work this way, work that way. So Indians are very, very manipulative in nature. It's not good. But somewhere we keep thinking, you know, Chanakya is also manipulating. That's why he's called Kootiniti person. But the fact is that the objective is very, very different. It's like a doctor. He realizes that your leg is being really gone to the 3rd degree where it cannot survive. But to save the whole body, he cuts off the leg. So do you call him that he's been a traitor? No. He looks at the big picture. Chanakya cannot be understood by just calling him a person who is specializing in Kootiniti. Chanakya can be only understood when you take it the perspective of being a national leader, a national thinker, and a nation builder. So he has done many things, but the fact remains is that if you want to understand Chanakya's thinking, please do read these 2 books, the Kautilya Arthashastra and Chanakya Niti, Niti Shastra, etc. Just to tell you about my research on the Kautilya's Arthashastra, traditionally it has been known as a book of economics, statecraft, punishments, warfare, strategy. And my teachers used to tell me, you know, whenever you do a research, you have to contribute to the knowledge field. You have to bring a unique dimension to what is already existing. Then I started thinking, why not look at Chanakya as a book of management? Let me tell you that I'm not the first person to actually look at it. Dr. Subhash Sharma and there are various other people who have been doing research on Arthashastra and management for years. But I got inspired from them and said, let me go into specialization. So I started looking at Arthashastra, the book of total management. Not just management. You have HR in it, you've got marketing in it, you've got finance in it, you've got political science in it. So everything that we talk about management. In today's generation, the word management has got a lot of importance. You know, in the 60s, 70s, if you're an engineer or a doctor, that was the biggest thing. Today, if you're an engineer or a doctor, still you have to go to the next level of doing a management, isn't it? Even the IIT guy is not complete without being an IIM guy. So what is management? It's the word in our generation. And it's in every field. Hospital management, art management, stress management. You know, sometimes I work with doctors. Cancer management, energy management. So management is not just another thing that we can ignore. Today, it's actually something that you have to understand. It's a part of our society. Look at the number of management institutes flourishing everywhere. Look at the number of various management courses that are coming in every institute itself. So I started looking, can we learn management from Arthashastra? But going back to Arthashastra, written in Sanskrit has got 6,000 sutras, 15 books, 150 chapters, and these 180 sections, and these 15 books have been broadly divided. This is my division, my categorization, with 180 topics. But if you want to understand, they're broadly divided into 5 areas. Fundamentals of management, where we talk about the theory of management. The theory is very important before you practice. After you understand the theory, the next is economics. You need to understand how money works for a country, for a company. Next is law. Legality is very important to understand, even to save your wealth. Next is foreign policies. Today the world is globalized. So today you may be successful in India, but if you start operating a company in a different place, you may not be successful. Look at what's happening with Google. Google and Facebook are not successful in China. Why? Because they have a different policy towards it. So if you want to succeed, you need to understand global policies as well as foreign policies depending on each state and nation. And finally, it also talks about war. Nobody likes to have wars, but finally, if wars cannot be avoided, you should be ready. That's why Chanakya comes in. It also describes specialized sciences like gemology, Ayurveda, architecture, etc. So many topics in one particular book. You know, somebody said, a Western scholar, Chanakya is not a person, he is a university. Arthashastra is not a book, it is a library. But if I were to say one thing about Chanakya, what it specializes on, and that's, it survived the test of time because it has been worked on the basis of psychology. It's a psychological book. Yesterday night we were discussing with all the eminent scholars who have come here to speak, and we said something very interesting. Management is not working with men, it's working with the minds of men and women. Management is not working with people, it's working with the minds of people. After a point you realize, if you look at subject like organizational behavior, what is OB? It's actually understanding how they think. Every institution thinks, isn't it? It's a thinking body. It's also got a life, like how we individuals have. But finally you need to understand psychology, and Chanakya specializes in that. How do the artisans of a society think? How do the teachers of a society think? How do the warriors think? How do the traders think? And he makes his policies accordingly. Please read Arthashastra to understand how societies think, how nations think, as well as how individuals think. But what is very important is the prime subject of Arthashastra, which starts with the first sutra, which says, any leader, any particular manager need to have 4 things as knowledge. Knowledge base has to be built on 4 subjects. It starts saying, Anvikshiki Trayi Varta Dandaniti Cheti Vidya. Anvikshiki, Trayi, Varta and Dandaniti. These are the 4 things that a leader needs to study. What is Anvikshiki? Anvikshiki is strategy, the science of thinking. R.P. Kangle, who wrote the translation of Sanskrit and English, has translated Anvikshiki as philosophy. So king need to understand strategy philosophically. That's what governance is all about, right? So combination of Anvikshiki is not just strategy, how to beat the competition, but it's also, is it based on dharmic values? Anvikshiki, Trayi. Trayi, during those days, the Vedas were classified into 3. Today we classify them into 4. So Trayi. The king has to study the Vedas. So Vedas consist of not only the other world, but also about the knowledge of this world. The king needs to understand everything. How does a scientist think? How does a artist think? How does a teacher think? How does a soldier think? Everything has to be there. So studying Vedas gives you an insight about the human knowledge itself, which has been documented, of human history. Anvikshiki Trayi Varta. Varta is understanding economics, business. Say, king need not be a businessman, but he should understand business. Our problem is different, Leaders have become dealers. And finally, Dandaniti. He should also study political science. The misunderstanding is that leaders should study political science first. And Chanakya is the first person who defines this, says political science also has to be studied, but after the grounding in philosophy and Anvikshiki. But Anvikshiki is a very, very, very deep science. I've been working on Anvikshiki for the last 8 years, and it fascinated me so much that I have a daughter. Now she's 2.5 years old. When she was born, we named her Anvikshiki. What have you named her? Wait, let the meaning come out. And how do I define Anvikshiki in the Arthashastra? This is a sutra which says, one arrow may or may not kill the enemy, but a man using his sharpened intellect can destroy the king along with his whole kingdom. That's strategy. One arrow may or may not kill the enemy. So it's like, you may miss the target. But the fact is that if you are thinking strategically, you may not be a king, you may not have soldiers, but strategy is what finally matters. What did Chanakya have? Was he a king? No, a simple teacher in Takshashila University. But he had the power of intellect. Therefore the word is sharpened intellect, brilliant intellect. I always say there are 4 types of leaders. In leadership itself, we have many categories. The first one is no leader situation. Everybody thinks he's a leader. Chaos. The second is bad leader. So you have a leader but not very happy. The third is good leader. Ideal leader. But Chanakya goes one step ahead of that. Strategic leader. The problem with good leader is that if he or she goes, the organization can go back to square one. We have seen that in many cases, isn't it? As long as the good leader exists, everything is good. But the good leader, when he becomes a strategic leader, he starts creating more leaders. So you're looking at maybe after 200 years also can my company survive? Very few companies can go beyond 10 generations, 20 generations. We have seen many examples in India also. We see the Tata Group of companies, or globally we see Citibank, which is celebrating 200 years right now. Strategic leadership is thinking, can my organization, my nation, my country survive beyond 1000 years? Because a good leader creates more leaders. Chanakya makes a system of leadership, not just create one. And it's a mistake when we say that Chanakya created only Chandragupta Maurya. He created many, but among the most known branding person, if you want to say, was Chandragupta Maurya. It was not one-to-one teaching. Many out of them one evolved. Bringing the best to lead the rest. Arrival of the best to lead the rest. But if you look at any particular teacher, which I am also, You never give specialization to anybody. You're always in a class of 40, 50, 60. But you never know. You see a spark in one particular person and you give him special tuitions and make him the best. But others are also equally important. Chanakya created many leaders who went on to lead provinces of smaller parts of India as well. Okay, so let's start with strategy. That's how he defeated Alexander without having any army of his own. Therefore, finally, in leadership or management, we say it's all about strategy. Chanakya talks about strategy. The next given 10 minutes that is with me, I'm going to actually quote some of the sutras directly from Arthashastra, and I'm going to make it relevant in the field of excellence and management. First thing about a leader is consult and then start. A good leader is the one who has got an expert advisory team along with him, Raja and his mantris. All undertakings should be preceded by consultation. How do you become excellent? Have excellent brains along with you. But he's also giving a warning, holding a consultation with only one, he may not be able to reach a decision in difficult matters. You know, sometimes if you get dependent on one person again and again and again, he may guide you or misguide you, isn't it? So he's telling, don't ever be dependent on one person, one expert. At the same time, he's looking at the other end of the prism. He says with more counselors, it is difficult to reach decisions and maintain secrecy. You know, you keep meeting and asking everybody opinions and you're confused. Have you heard about that story about a father and a son who went to buy a donkey? As they were coming back, one villager said, why are you both of you walking? One of you sit on the donkey. Optimum utilization of resources. So the father sat on the donkey. And after a few minutes, somebody said, what kind of a father are you? You're making the son walk? The son sat on the donkey, father got down. After a few minutes, another, what kind of a son are you? Making your father walk? Finally, both of them lifted the donkey on the shoulders and started walking. There's a big difference between understanding of what is opinion versus what is an advice. Opinions. So, Hindi mein there is a beautiful song. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. That's not what the king should do. Today in the media we got so many opinion makers. But Chanakya says advice. And what is advice? Therefore, sit and counsel with those who are matured in intellect. People whom you take the advice is really important. An advisor can make or break a king. See, that's important. A king's men can make or break a king. Many times the king's men are more powerful than the king itself. So he says you have to be strategic. You have to choose your advisors carefully. You have to choose your gurus carefully. It is very important to understand that how strategic advice comes to a strategic thinker. Very, very deep. I was reading an advertisement. Take the advice from the best people. This is our advice. So true, right? Whom to take from our advice is what Chanakya is telling. So look at strategic thinking in our country. I do a lot of programs with the armed forces, with leaders of the various communities, and I always felt this, if you have excellence in you, it's because you have excellence around you. The board of a company is what excellence comes out to guide the chairman of an organization. Excellence to others. Advice to entrepreneurs: wealth will slip away from the foolish person who continuously consults the stars. And look at what he says. For wealth is the star of wealth. हिंदी में जैसे कहावत, पैसा पैसे को खींचता है. What will the stars do? Sometimes we get too much dependent on astrology and futuristic calculations that we forget what is more important is self-effort. It's not about what you got, it's what you create. That's about excellence. I'm not telling that astrology is bad. Astrology is very good if you look at it scientifically. But astrology itself says the concept of Purushartha is very dominant. So Chanakya uses the astrological methods to define what, place, time, etc. Does that. But remember, he himself defies it and saying that there is something much more beyond that. Capable men will certainly secure wealth at least after 100 trials. So maybe 1 or 2 times you will fail. But Purushartha is much, much bigger than Prarabdha. Create your own destiny. Self-effort is more important. Today we look at leaders in the corporate world or any particular community, we find that they believe in something called as they can do it. There is a Urdu शायरी which I heard, very beautiful one. कहते हैं किस्मत हाथों की लकीर पे लिखी जाती है, बट जिनके हाथ नहीं होते उनकी भी किस्मत होती है ना. You can do it. Our problem with our country is that we are thinking mediocres. Number 2 is not achievement. Shah Rukh Khan once put it so nicely. We never win a silver medal, we lose a gold medal. Excellence is saying only number one. Number two, Mary Kom, when she got this Olympic award, bronze, she was crying. The first thing she told, I'm sorry. Sorry for what? I mean, we're happy you got a bronze medal. No, I'm sorry. Because that's not excellence. It's going again and again and again to depth and saying that this is excellence and there could be something beyond it also. That's charity. Create your own destiny. Okay, excellence is also about listening to everyone. An open mind, a large heart, broad shoulders and a large heart makes a leader. I'll repeat it, 3 things. An open mind, broad shoulders and large heart. Open mind to receive ideas from anywhere and everywhere. Rig Veda says that, right? Let noble thoughts come to us from all sides. Leader has to be open-minded. At the same time, broad shoulders to take the responsibility of the organization or the state or the country, and an open heart so that he can take the negativities of his people. As parents we see our children are not perfect, our students are not perfect. But then you understand, yes, even with the weaknesses there are strengths. The first thing is an open mind. He should despise none but listen to the opinion of everyone. Everyone. Sometimes we find the best coming from a child also. A wise man should make use of the sensible words of even a child. Sometimes a child